Hi, welcome to Queens Talking Reality. I'm Farron, this is
Elisa.
Please like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we'll be recapping, talking the tea, the gossip, the drama, everything about Housewives of Potomac. We're about to go live.
Watch us now. Hey, we are back at Queens Talking Reality. I am Elisa.
Farrah.
And thanks for joining us again. As you saw, as you heard, don't forget to subscribe, all that good stuff. And we're just going to jump right into it. Potomac, Season 7, Episode 11. This one was called Showtime. Okay?
Showtime.
It was good. I liked it. It was juicy. I love when like tea. Huh?
What was juicy? The episode?
I think that episode was juicy. I love a good tea extraction. Like when somebody's going to get tea, I loved it. I love how Gizelle gets that tea. Okay,
so we'll get into that scene. I don't think she got that much tea. I wanted to hear more, but I think
well,
the upcoming episode.
I like the effort. I hate when I speak to somebody and I'm like, "Did you ask this? Did you ask that?" No. What? You didn't extract the tea? At least try, make an effort. So I love the effort that's put into it.
The thirstiness of Gizelle.
It's not thirsty. It's just little extraction. Okay.
All right, thirst. But go on. Let's start. We'll wait until we get to that part. We're jumping here. We're jumping to the next.
Yes. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your presence.
Joining. Sorry, we're late.
Yes. So this episode starts out with Gizelle and Karen. And Karen goes over to Gizelle's house and she shows Karen around the house. And what do you think about that? Well, we saw Gizelle's house already.
Gizelle's house is Gizelle. I like seeing Karen and Gizelle, their friendship. I like it. I mean, when they argue, it's very comical and it's good for TV. But I like when they're actual friends. And I love Karen's facial expressions.
Me too.
Facial expressions of learning about Mia. And although she's very close with Mia, she looks pretty surprised at what Gizelle was telling her about Mia hooking up with her friend and everything else. I was surprised that Karen was actually surprised. I thought maybe she knew a lot more about Mia.
No, I don't think that's something that people go around talking about, that you doing, like you swinging and having your friends swap with your man.
Mia told everybody she swings, and she said it to Gizelle and she's mentioned to Gizelle, and I think it was, who was there, Charisse and Robyn, or was it Ashley when they saw her in the shower. I'm thinking this is Mia's good friend. Karen is good friends with Mia. She's probably seen this chick, which I don't remember her name. She's probably around her. So I kind of thought maybe she knew a little bit more of their relationship, maybe because she's around them. But Mia opened up to Gizelle. So
okay, Karen is like the mother of the group. Are you going to tell your mom that you're doing threesomes and you swinging?
No, Karen knows that. Karen knows she's a swinger. She said it to everybody. We know. I don't think Karen knew she was messing with this new. What is that girl's name? Mia's friend, the representative.
I think, isn't it Jackie or something? Isn't it? I
don't think Karen knew she was messing around with her.
Yeah.
Hours. So I love Karen's facial. I love her. Her facial expressions are it for me. I love it because you could tell it's like real tea, like how I would probably do. Somebody tell me like, oh, "What girl?" So I'm very animated when I get juicy gossip. So I like Karen's facial expressions where she gets the tea.
Yeah, I love that too. That's what I'm saying. I love a good like tea extraction. I love with the reactions. I love it all. Like when it's a good like, exchange and engagement. So I loved it. I love how Karen faked it too. Like when Gizelle was showing her around the house and Karen was like, "Oh yes, I love it. Oh yeah." Then in the confessional, she's like, oh no, that wouldn't be me. Like it was like the way she said, "Oh no, I didn't like it."
I didn't see anything wow about the house, but I mean, Karen was not honest. But what are you gonna say if you go to somebody's house? I've been to plenty of people's house. I didn't like you, but you lied and say, "Oh wow, that's nice." You know, this is hideous.
I
But you're
guess
not
so.
gonna
And
see.
and they have that type of relationship where I am gonna throw shade on the low on the back end. Like I might tell you to your face, but to make the episode juicy and funny, I am gonna throw a little salt in
Yeah.
there.
So I thought it was. I mean, again, Giselle's doing this on her own. So, and we know her style. I mean, if you dress funky, I'm assuming your house doesn't look the best either. That's her style. So her house,
Yeah.
her house. She
And
like,
she doesn't care.
yeah, she like it. Her kids love it. Who cares?
Yeah. And I love when the girls, the twins and the twins came in and when she called them down to come get the gift that she brought them. And I thought that was so sweet, Gucci bracelets. I was like, oh, no matter what type of beef, they
Yeah,
always have like that those nice moments that make you go, oh.
with the kids. I thought that was nice too. I like Karen. I think she's a really, I think she's a sincere person. And I think her and Giselle generally have a good friendship because they've been
Mm-hmm.
friends for a while. It's just that I think sometimes they do it up for TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that
then
was a
she
good scene.
discussed, what'd you say?
That was a good scene, seeing Giselle and Karen.
Yes. And then they talked about the lives that they both going to have and how Karen said she's doing hers in Bloomingdale's. And then Giselle talked about how she's doing hers in the whatever the amphitheater or whatever that was.
Well, if you compared it to Giselle sounded bootleg, where Karen seemed like, oh, the Grand Dame event. Karen's was more an event, and Giselle's more like, oh, we're doing something.
That's okay. That's what I said last week when we was talking about it. I was like, Karen's is definitely she's gonna do a more like an event where she's gonna hold something like that's going to be worth an experience. Whereas Giselle is. But yeah, we're not gonna get ahead because I'm ready to talk about that. I can't
Yeah.
wait till we get to that part.
Yeah, let's get to that.
And like you said, they discussed with the whole threesome and swapping and all of that other stuff. And Karen couldn't wait to take that tea in to bring it somewhere else. You could just see her. I knew she was gonna do that.
Yeah, tell Ray and who else. Yeah.
Yeah. So then the next scene is with Wendy going to the emergency room.
Why was that even there?
I was so gonna say that, but I didn't want to seem heartless. I want to, at least we agree on that.
I mean, that scene for me was just a filler. Unless you're going to educate people on kidney stones, because honestly, I don't know that much about it, or there's a lesson to be learned. I mean, what I did learn from it is working too hard and exhausting yourself. But it didn't fit for that part. Like for that whole episode, I was like, okay, you had surgery, everything was fine. There wasn't like a scare. It wasn't something where I felt like, or was it? I don't know. I don't think that whole part should have just been left out. No one really.
I agree. We have the same thinking because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, they must have just added this, like, just to put it in there and maybe just to give her some airtime because I didn't see the significance of that at all. Like, they didn't even really, like you said, it wasn't no education to it. It was nothing. We could have did without that. Like, take care of it and tell us. Even afterwards, when they showed her mom there, but it was like, why are we here? Like, what are we doing?
They actually had a camera crew in the hospital follow her around. A lot of hospitals restrict that. And it was just so much that they followed her for something. To me, how serious are kidney stones? Usually you pass them, you move. It wasn't something to me that needed to be aired out and shown on TV. Or even if she mentioned she had surgery, maybe they didn't show us the surgery, but she was home. Maybe that part, because maybe she'll be not on other episodes. I don't know, but that whole kidney stone storyline should not have been told unless they're going to educate us on it. Because at the end of the day, I still was like, I would still have to go Google and try to fully figure out what the hell is kidney stones and what happened.
Yeah, it was pointless.
How severe could it be? Could you die from it? Like, I didn't learn anything.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm starting to waver on Wendy's significance in the show. If they need to put in stuff like that, I don't know. I might be on the fence about firing her. You putting in more kidney stone events or stuff like that in the show and filling up episodes with that.
I felt like you when I was watching her and her kids. I was like, I don't want to see these damn kids. Like, oh, mommy, the suit, they talk like the whole minute with her and the suit, her daughter getting her the suit. I was like, just give, like, move on.
Okay, now you see what I'll be going through when I'm watching these scenes. Like, well, I don't want to see these kids.
That part, I was like, you're making it a cute moment. Oh, she's such a good take care, mommy. I'm like, yeah. Like, I didn't feel, there was nothing there. Maybe because the kids are a little too young and it doesn't entertain me. Not yet. Maybe when they're older.
And speaking of which, the next scene was Ashley. And I don't know what it is about when she's on there with her kids in the background. It really irritates my eardrums. The screaming that takes place with them kids in the background, you probably are maybe immune to it or something. Because, I don't know. They was screaming. I had to like fast forward it just for a second because I was like, I can't take this.
Well, kids are kids. So if the camera's on, you can't really control them. She has kids. I'm used to noise and stuff. They look a lot like her husband, Michael.
I know.
Her scenes with her boys, and of course, I have a soft spot because I have boys. I don't get that gooey, ooey feelings with them. It's just, it looks chaotic. Like her house looks overly crowded. There's toys all over the place. I know she lives in a penthouse. It looks very crowded with those kids in there. I think that's what it is. I think with these reality shows, we're so used to seeing space, big houses. They only see Ashley and them kids all over the place. Like there's toys all over. It just, that scene to me was very crowded. It made me a little bit claustrophobic, which I'm not.
Exactly. See, we seeing each other about these kids now, okay?
Yeah. So
hey Valerie, hey sis. Hi, finally you joined us. I've been harassing her to join the live, so I appreciate your presence.
Hi.
But yes. So yeah. Huh?
I said so. Yeah, we were here with that scene.
Exactly. So then she starts talking about her and her sugar daddy and the husband. I'm gonna call him a sugar daddy. He's becoming a sugar daddy, basically. I think he always was, but now he's a bona fide sugar daddy / soon to be ex-husband of hers. And they discuss buying a house, and she says she's she's just clueless basically about the way, about home buying and just life. It seemed like she's clueless about.
My thing with Ashley, I don't understand why she's still questioning, is it right or wrong to buy a house with your soon-to-be ex-husband? Duh, how dumb can you be? But I don't know, maybe she has a plan of buying the house. Maybe she feels like, well, if we buy the house and we later on get a divorce, I could get the house in the settlement. There is something behind that maybe she has an attorney or someone with some legal knowledge that we don't know that's saying, get this house now.
No.
We go through the divorce. I don't know, because I don't.
You're giving her too much credit. You're giving her too much credit. Absolutely not. That's not what. Okay, we discussed this the last time. I said you must have forgot my theory. And my theory, and I'm never wrong. Okay.
Oh, please.
Most of the time, I'm never wrong. So anyway, my theory is that she's doing it for security. Like she cannot, these housewives that are living off of these sugar daddies and these men, these older men, like most of the housewives in these franchises, they're not self-made. They're getting their money from their husbands. They are marrying into money. And that's with her. So when you marry into money and you coming from the slums, we'll say, I'm saying the slums to exaggerate, but when you coming from not money, when you coming from old, new money, and you don't have old money, that's generational wealth, you don't know how to live without it once you marry into it. So to not have that anymore is like shock to your system. So it's kind of like, she still needs to live that life. And the only way she can live it is on his terms. He's basically saying, listen, I'm going to buy you a house. I'm going to still live there. And you're going to be a concubine. And that's what it is. And that's what she's going to do.
So you think that's what's happening? Well, Ashley's, I don't know. Comment, ladies. Let us know. Team Elisa, Team Farrah. I'm thinking maybe she is buying the house with the intentions of leaving Michael and probably keeping the home. I don't think she's buying the house to stay with Michael and be a concubine. See, she's dating now. She's on social media.
Absolutely. Listen, Michael, he's good with her going out. And listen, they've been doing threesomes, swapping, switching, whatever they're doing. And he doesn't mind as long as she comes home and she brings the cooch back to him.
But supposedly she's not doing that thing with Michael. Supposedly is what she said.
So the next episode, she's gonna be like, I miss his penis or something. Then she said that next episode.
She said that in order to divorce him, they have to not be intimate. And she said
she has to. Like, do you really think that's not what's happening? First of all, she's saying that she misses his penis. Like, so obviously she's going to still be in the house. Come on now. She's not gonna be in that house not do. She's saying that for us and for the court system. Because I guess that's the law. You can't, have sex or whatever. And
exactly. So she's saying she's planning on getting a divorce. So you're thinking she's not getting a divorce at all.
No, I think whatever the reason is, she's still getting a divorce, but I think she still needs that money train to keep going. Like
I agree about that. But I think as far as buying a home, the house, the topic is buying the house. I think the reason she's buying it is hopes of when she's getting a divorce. Now she'd be like, look, our kids are accustomed to this and getting the home and the divorce. Because right now they get the divorce. What is she
doesn't need to do that. She does not need him to get a home. Like, she doesn't need him.
We don't know what's going on with that prenup.
She needs the security. He's the one who's, like she said in the episode. What did she say? She said that she has no clue about what's going on with the house. She knows nothing about financing, mortgages. She even said it herself. She has no clue how to do these things. He's doing everything. You know how scary that is to not have a clue and this should be thrown out there, especially as a grown woman. Like you're used to this, being used to taking care of, and then your husband just cuts off ties up with the money and everything, and then you're thrown into with the wolves. Like, no, she needs that.
That's why I think she's actually trying to get him to buy the house, divorce him, keep the house. I don't think you think she's buying the house to stay with him.
I think it's an arrangement. I think she's going to make him happy and he's going to make her happy as far as money, taking care of her mom, doing the things. As long as she has those legs spread, she is going to be like, that's how her marriage was. Why do you think she married him? You think it was out of looks and love? I don't think so.
So you think she's not getting a divorce?
No, I think she is. I think she's getting a divorce. Probably. I don't know, but I just believe that it's an arrangement. I believe that she's doing it for the arrangement, and that they can still come and go, and they can just be happily ever after. But she's still able to get his money. And the way to do that is to keep him happy in the home, be a concubine. You still go out on dates, do what you do, and then maybe find another sugar daddy out there. I think her plan is for the now, to be taken care of, to be secure.
Yes, but I think her future plan is eventually to get the house. So.
She ain't thinking about it long term. You give her way too much credit. She is
not. You really think she's not thinking about long term?
No, she does not have she's not, she's telling us she's scared. She said it. I'm clueless. I'm scared. That's a woman that does not have a plan and doesn't have a clue.
So you think Michael is using Ashley? He's okay with her dating those white men and sleeping around with them, or she's dating some white guy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's been okay with it. Like, I think it's her who wants the exclusivity and stuff like that. Michael he wants to be gay, allegedly. I think he wants to be happily gay, happily straight, like flexible. I just think he wants it all. She was the one that was stopping him from that. Now he can live his free gay life or straight life without those issues of her nagging him. Now she can't nag him. He can live his best gay straight life.
No, I don't know if you can be gay and straight at the same time.
Okay, his flexible
bisexual life. Well, let's wait and see. I think Ashley might be a little smarter than we think. Hopefully.
You give her too much credit. I'm gonna have to pull up these episodes when I'm having these clairvoyant thoughts.
I think she might be a little bit smarter I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Give her too much.
Wait and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. And then the next scene is Robyn and Gizelle. They start their live show, and
it started already.
Yeah. That was the next. I'm skipping past Wendy and her and her mom. I think they go back to her. The mom take care of her. That was pointless.
Okay. So is the day of the big live show. I was watching it and cringing. And I actually felt bad for them. I think they should have just not even aired that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
why do you think that?
A comment. She said Ashley's not thinking straight buying a house with her ex. I agree. I would think that's still giving him power over her life, like what she's doing. who she's seeing, and other benefits. I agree. I don't think Michael will be okay with buying a house and doing all the stuff and you sleeping around. But mind, you're pretty handsome.
No, but she's still, listen, he's still getting the benefits. Like Joanne
what,
said.
Cooch?
Yes, that's the benefit. You have a built-in vagina in your house, and then you can go be gay outside, straight, flexible, and you still can come home and be wrapped up with your old sweet cooch. Yeah.
Your old sweet. I don't know. I don't know. That I don't know. I'm still like, I have to wait and see if Ashley has some brains. Especially now she got a young thing. Like, you gonna go have that young thing and go back to Michael for that much security? If you have a pretty good, solid prenup. But again, she doesn't have any any sense of finances. I don't know. She seems like she has her uncle in her life. Hopefully he's putting some sense into that dincy brain of hers.
No, she needs the security.
Ugh, well, anyway. Moving on to Gizelle and Robyn. Like I said, I don't think they should have aired that on TV. It was pretty embarrassing, I think. They're making too much of it.
No, but it's embarrassing from our perspective. I think from them, it gives them like exposure. It gives them like, for people that may be interested in stuff like that and doing those dumb games and stuff. Like, some people might have thought it was fun, but it was embarrassing.
It was boring as hell. I would not have gone to that if I went. The cast looked bored. Now, people are coming to support you. They look bored. First of all, they had Juan on there, and it was nothing of substance of where maybe Robyn and Juan is not personable. He's not someone who's a talker. So I don't even know why they had them there. They're going to talk about relationships. Like, why was he even on stage? Actually, for TikTok, it could have been a little fun. That could have been like a little fun segment. But Gizelle is not a good dancer. It was just boring. They don't have personality with each other, I think. I think in the show, they have good dynamics duo because they're feeding off of like Karen and Mia and everybody else. But just the two of them, their personality is not that entertaining individually or combined to me for me to go pay to watch a show. That's one. Secondly, I think they should have had a smaller venue so it didn't look so empty. They should have gotten maybe a little lounge or something way smaller so it looked a little bit more packed, or maybe they were expecting a bigger turnout.
Exactly. I think that's what it was.
Because they were talking about selling tickets and they didn't get a big turnout. And they mentioned they spent $10,000. Now, they mentioned they spent $10,000 and they made profit of maybe $4,000. So split between both of them, that's $2,000. And who knows if they had to pay anybody else. For all of that, and that's all he came out with, to me, it seemed like they did put in work to have this gathering. Mm-hmm. And you only got $2,000 out of it. And I know they probably had other fees out of that $2,000 that they so-called made a profit out of. I just think the venue was too big and they probably got really big-headed about themselves. Like, oh, we have, just because you have that many listeners, doesn't mean all these people are willing to pay to go see you, because listeners is free. I'm assuming their podcast you could listen to it for free. So because they have so many listeners, they felt, oh, if we sell these tickets, who knows how much we sold it for? We're going to get hundreds or thousands of people show up. And it seemed like they probably had maybe, 100 to some people there, maybe?
Yeah.
100 to maybe 150. It was very small. But again, I think they should have started small and then work their way up. Like, let's start with trying to sell 150 tickets. And then maybe the next show you build on. I think Cal will have a more successful event. Absolutely. And I think that they, like you said, I think they overfeeling themselves, thinking like they could fill up the Madison Square Garden. Like no one, like, I don't know who's watching their podcast. I'm not interested in it. I don't feel like they bring in the tea that we're looking for as far as Potomac is concerned. I don't care about their life and them dealing with having fights with their neighbors and stuff like that. So I just believe that they was overzealous about thinking about themselves, like overconfidence. And I don't know who's on their team or what they were thinking, but I know even for me, when I'm going to like a concert, I always look at the seats. Like, to me, I want to see if it's going to be filled up. And I'm always able to predict. I'm usually good with predicting, like, oh, they're going to cancel this show because not enough tickets sold. Because I like to, switch. I like to get the cheap seats and then,
That's my trick. I get the cheap seats, and then I pick out a front row seat that I'm going to get when I'm there. So I usually look at all the seats, and in my mind, I'm like, they're going to cancel this because not enough seats are sold. And sure enough, a lot of concerts cancel shows because not enough tickets are sold, and they will lose money because you got to get lighting people to come out. All these producers, production, everybody has to come out for this that needs to be paid. So why would you go forward with a production that's not selling? Like, that in itself was a bad decision. I would have put it off. Once I see that only half or less than half of the tickets sold, they should have canceled it or rescheduled it. There's no way they should have went forward with. I think that was a bad decision, a bad business decision to go forward with that.
Yeah. Couple of things. One, with that, they said they made $404,000 profit. They made nothing. They probably even lost more money than $10,000.
Exactly.
You had to pay for extra things. The venue maybe was $10,000. I don't know what was $10,000. They say they put $10,000 in an event. I don't know what it was. The $10,000 was for. They didn't have any guests, but they had to pay the planner that put it all together. They had to pay for the venue. They had to pay for multiple other things. They had to pay for the guy that didn't pronounce Gizelle's name correctly or said Robyn.
That was awful. Bryant. It started off as a flop.
That whole thing, and I think you showcasing that on the show just made people not even want to go to the next event. Me seeing that did not make me think, oh, the next time they have a live, I'm going to want to go because it looked so good. I think that's turning off people from even have that when they have another event. This was not good promotion. It wasn't.
But I think in their mind, and I'm thinking, like, although I wouldn't have went forward with it, and like I said, a lot of concerts and shows that I've gone to that didn't sell enough tickets, they cancel or they reschedule. But I think with them, the benefit of going forward was probably to get it on air. Because they probably, if they would have rescheduled it, they probably wouldn't have been able to get it on air. But like you said, would I have wanted to showcase that on air? No. But I think in their mind, like I said, I think they over-feeling themselves. And they basically saying, you know what, this will get us more audience. This is going to be great for us when it actually isn't.
Yeah, and I think they kind of messed it up for other people who was maybe going to the show.
Yeah, I would never.
You want to go to the next live? Oh, let me see. You see this. I don't think people are going to, I don't know how much the tickets were worth, but I don't care if it was $20. I'm not spending any money to go see that. And then it wasn't a show that was like, oh my God, that was so much fun. I want to go see the next one. I would love to go to the next live show. There was nothing there that made you want to go see the next show.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible promotion.
Terrible. And then Juan is there. To me, I would have used that to like kind of like, you know, make the show even more interesting. I was glad that he was there because you don't usually see him. But why would you bring him there where he doesn't come? And then you ask like stupid, like you have him playing stupid games and stupid questions. Like, this is the juiciness of, prospectively, it could have been like potentially juiciness in the show. But then you bring him out to play a stupid game. And then when someone asks, when you pose, you know, you get the audience to ask questions, then someone asks the question. You see how like red she turned and how like nervous she was to answer the question of when will you get married? Like, we want to hear the juiciness. The tea.
I think Robyn and Gizelle would have had a better chance if they did a podcast, like something we're doing, talking to T about the show. They probably get more viewership on that, and maybe once in a while throw in other stuff. But I think they should have added that on their line of discussions. I think they talking about the show should have been something else included with other topics. I really don't care about their opinions about anything. I really don't. I don't see any. They don't interest me enough for me to even listen to them talk.
I think Juan being there, and I think she could have made something out of that. But unfortunately, like you said, I think their chemistry isn't good enough. To me, if that were me and my husband, and I have like a kind of like, you know, we were married, we got a divorce, now we're getting remarried. Like, this is some great tea that you can bring on a stage. Like, I would have been telling my husband, like, listen, like how Peter did with Cynthia. Like, listen, we're going to make this show more interesting and get this money keep coming in. And we're going to showcase like our relationship and let people know about the good, the bad, the ugly. But they're not even using this to their advantage. Like, she was so scared and red when somebody asked her a question, which I thought was like, you just dropped the ball on this.
Or talk about the prenup.
Yeah.
Talk about why we're not married yet. Something juicy that we wouldn't get from the show. So he should have just not came. Yeah. It was nothing.
Yeah. So then they switched to a scene. They're gonna go back to like them, but then they switched to Candiace and Trina and the video.
Oh, that was nice. I think she looked nice. I mean, there wasn't much going on with that either. I think she looked very nice. I think Trina, of course, looked very nice. And I was proud of Candiace. The song's not bad.
It's good. I think with good promotion, I just don't know, like a lot of housewives and then their songs is like either a one-hit wonder. No one really takes them seriously. I don't hear it on the radio. Like I think that's a track that would probably be good on like Z100 or one of those pop stations. I just don't know if that would be good on like I don't know. I think they need to like I don't hear it. Do you? Do you hear it on the I don't know if you listen to the radio. I don't hear it coming on.
I don't hear it on the radio. I don't know if it's playing in Atlanta. I don't see anybody doing TikTok dances. I like Drive Back.
Yeah.
Her first original song, I really liked it. I think it was cute. I like the fact that she had the ladies on. Now, this one, if anyone saw it on YouTube, the full video, the song does not match the video. To me, she could have made it a little bit more simple where it's so insecure. The first video, I think it was less of a budget, but it went with the song. This one is her in the car with Trina. There's something that looks sort of futuristic. It was higher budget, but the song, if you hear the words of the song, it didn't connect with me with the video.
Yeah.
So it's nice. And I think putting Trina on it, she probably thought, oh, this is going to blow up, but it honestly did not. So I don't think the song went anywhere.
Yeah. I did skip over some of the thing. I did go to the live. It didn't get there yet. I skipped a little couple of scenes, so I'm gonna just rewind it back. So then Robyn and Juan get together in the scene where they talking about the prenup again.
It seems like it's a very uncomfortable conversation.
And they discuss wedding plans and stuff. I thought it was kind of nice. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I think it's an uncomfortable conversation to have about a prenup. The camera's there. Everybody know your business, your finances. She mentioned about in the fidelity clause. As a man, nobody want to talk about that on camera. They don't look like a good, comfortable couple to me. She looks very uncomfortable with him. I don't think he abuses her, but she comes off very worrisome when it comes to talking to him.
Yeah.
Looks like she has anxiety. She's worried. Oh, I got to talk to Juan about this and kind of contemplate what to say, what not to say the right words. There's too much uncomfortability between her and him. He looks unentertained with her, and she looks very uncomfortable speaking to him about anything. Except when it comes to it seems like
I think he's not like engaging on camera. I don't know if it's because we don't know him off camera. Like I wish that we could see him, but I'm thinking like he looks like one of those that's like does not want no camera time, but he's like forced to be there because of my damn wife wants me on the show. Like I feel like he's one of those that does not want to be. He wants nothing to do with the Housewives show, but he's doing it for his wife. He just never seems engaged to me. But I do think in this scene, he did seem a little bit more engaging when they talked about the wedding plans and that she spoke to a lawyer. Like, I felt like he was like, oh, really? Like, he seemed like, okay, I'm down with whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, I'm down with it. Let's go. But he just so like, he doesn't show no emotion. He's like, just like bland.
Not much conversation. It's just very awkward to me. I don't know what they talk about. But on screen, there's no chemistry whatsoever. It looks like two people living together, old couple. It's just weird. It's just a very weird relationship to me. And again, it could be the cameras and off the camera. I can't see them being any different off the cameras, to be honest. But maybe they are. I hardly even see affection between them.
Yeah, I don't know I don't see them holding hands. I don't see no love in between them at all. Like even with Karen and her husband, we've seen it at times. Like I just don't see Wendy, her husband. Like with them, it's like
so Ashley and the perv.
Yeah,
Michael, we've seen it with every couple, but then it's just very weird. I mean, we saw affection when he proposed. It's just a very weird dynamic. It's kind of like we're together for the kids, but when the kids are at the house, we're divorcing. It's just a weird situation. And you know what made it even more apparent was that scene when they were at the beach, when they're in Miami, and Robyn saw that guy, she's rubbing all up on him on the beach. She couldn't get enough of that chocolate man. She was just, oh my God, I haven't felt muscles like that in a while. She was a little bit too thirsty for that, going to have having a man living with you and somebody you're going to be married to. She was a little bit too thirsty. So that let me know there's a lot that's not happening in that house.
She needs the love and affection, and she ain't getting it at home, so she got to get it elsewhere.
Exactly. It was a little bit too much of a third. Just I wasn't even acting that thirsty. She's single. Not even Shabazz.
Exactly. Yeah. So then the next scene is Mia and Karen. They discuss like the tea that Karen got from Gizelle about Mia sleeping with the best friend and swapping men and all that other stuff.
Who, Karen told Mia this?
Yeah, when they got together, she tells Mia that, you know, they discussed what Gizelle told her about them taking a shower together and these things that just seem weird to me. And Mia was like, she's very like honest with it and like, yeah, we take showers. Yeah, we swap. I told her to sleep with my man because I want her to feel how his penis feels. Like, I don't know. I just think it's so weird. But she is definitely, Mia is forthcoming with the info. Like, she's fine.
The whole situation with Mia, I don't understand because I'm not that type of woman. She says she doesn't mind watching her husband have sex with other women, not just being engaging and being part of the threesome, watching him do it. So that lets me know there's a lot of psychological mess going on in your head that you're okay with seeing supposedly the man you love and your husband sleeping with somebody else right in front of your face. That is totally disrespectful.
Well, a lot of people do that though.
To me, everybody's each is their own. They do whatever the hell they want. I'm not that type of woman. I cannot do it. I will not do it.
Yeah.
And that's what you choose to do and let everybody know. Just be aware that everyone's gonna be in your business and people are gonna judge. But when you say, you don't have to go on TV and say that. That is your personal situation in your own bedroom. But the fact that you said it to those type of women, like you could tell Gizelle and Robyn, they're a little bit more conservative. They're not doing what she's doing. You go in a group like that and say something other than Ashley, you're going to get a reaction. It may not be a positive reaction. And you have to So you got to find out what group, what kind of people you're talking to, and what you want to release it to the world. So I think that's what it is with her. I mean, that's what
I don't know. To me, I feel like Mia can handle it though. Like I'm kind of like that in a way. Like I'm gonna give information I want to give, and if somebody's gonna judge, okay, we can talk about when they want to judge me. Then we're gonna talk about your life, and it's fine. Like I don't like to me. If I'm okay with something, I'm not a swinger, but let's say I was a swinger. And it's my business to tell you, another group of people, if I'm fine with it, then you should be fine with it. But if you're going to judge, then that's when I'm going to judge your life. So me, it just seems like that type. Like, okay, I swing or I swap or whatever they do. I watch. So what's the problem? Okay. So I don't think that's information she needs to keep to herself. If you're fine with it, I wouldn't care what anybody else thinks. Just like with Gizelle, we all talk about the way she dresses. Did she change it? Does she care? Absolutely not.
That's true. She doesn't care. I guess she doesn't care. But I mean, let's see how much she doesn't care. Because now they're trying to dig into it. Before they weren't. She said what she said. She said what she does. No one was digging into it. Now it seems like Giselle's prying.
But that's what I'm saying. When you do start digging and when you do start judging, that's when your life is free for me to pick at and throw stones at. So listen, I'm like Mia in a way. Like, if you want to dig, if you want to judge, let's go. Let's get it on. Bring it. Let's go. So that's what I'm saying. They should be prepared. And that's what I like when it's somebody that they go at. And then they bring it too. Like, I don't want the whole Wendy where somebody splashing water in your face, like with Mia splashing water in her face, and you couldn't really bring it as far as like the words. Like, I love a good exchange. And I feel like Mia's able to give that when someone like Gizelle wants to pick at her life. The BFF is getting picked on a little bit by Mia sometimes. So it just seemed like the BFF and Candiace, the representative, like we call her, she brings it when Candiace start coming at her. So it's like she kind of snaps at her too. So I like a good exchange without the violence. And I think that Mia is able to do that if you want to judge her.
Yeah, when it comes to that, she could do it. When it came to Wendy, she couldn't hold a candle to Wendy.
I know. She threw a tantrum through the water. I was very disappointed, like we discussed before. Like, I was disappointed in her with that. But hopefully this time she'll give us some good scenes without the, throwing water and throwing tantrums and stuff like that.
Yes, wait and see.
Yeah, so then Karen asked her, she asked Mia, did she have sex was Peter a part of their liaisons as far as like sex?
She said no, that she had sex with Peter's girlfriend.
Yeah.
I guess her and her husband did. Now that was another. I mean, I don't know if Peter's still dating her. I don't think so, but that was just a lot of information too.
I know that maybe Peter didn't want out there that he's dealing with women that be doing like threesomes and swinging and swapping and stuff like that. Who knows? I was waiting for Peter to come on a podcast that I listened to, but he was like a no-show. I'm waiting for him to come because he's usually regularly on his podcast. So
now,
I like for him
before she was with Peter or while she was with Peter?
I'm thinking, wow, that's what the way it came across to me. I'm thinking like she met the girl through Peter. Like Peter was there somewhere and maybe not in the room as they like doing this like threesome. He was, but to me, it seemed like that happened on one of their like double dates.
Well, didn't Wendy said Peter was mad at Mia?
And probably, yeah. Like it seemed like, yeah, that when they went away, it was something that happened. Like Wendy did touch on that.
So maybe that was it. Maybe Mia took his girl, whatever. But then was Peter into swing too? Did he ever have anything with Mia? Was it an orgy?
I don't think so. Peter doesn't strike me at that time. Maybe. You never know. These men be doing all kind of stuff. He's too old. I mean, listen, I guess you're never too old to swing and do all that other stuff.
Look at her husband ain't young. He swing.
I know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, then the next part is with, like we spoke about, the live. That's when Gizelle and Robyn have their live show. And like we said, it was a total like bore. And the announcer came out first thing. He already flopped from when he announced the show and said, was it Giselle's name he said wrong, or was it Robyn's name?
He said Robyn Bryant or something like that.
Yes, he did. Yes, you're right. He said Robyn Bryant. And that was just, and you know, Karen was
money they didn't give him a check yet. I would have deducted money from his check.
I would have I don't know what, I would have been so discouraged after that show, after like having such a debacle. Like I would have been so like discouraged. Like I probably wouldn't have paid him, but I would have went home and probably cried. I would have picked myself back up, but it was terrible.
It was terrible.
The mics weren't working. Like, what type of hood affair? Like,
there was a lot of empty seats. There's a lot of empty seats. And even if said, do anybody have any questions? It didn't seem like any people had questions either.
And Karen was loving every moment of this. Like that was golden. Like I would absolutely love something like that for somebody that's like talking about I'm copying them and they always want to be having jokes. Like I love when stuff like that happens, when God turns things around and lets me shines the light on stuff for me to really like dig into it. I love that. That was great for Karen.
I just want to see if they're going to show Karen's event on the show.
I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Did she even have it? I don't know. I think she did. So that's what I wanted to see, just a comparison between the two.
Yeah, and it's just to me, I just think Karen's is going to be more of an experience. Like I said, she's having it in Bloomingdale's. She seemed to have it more laid out, like as far as like with the guy, even though I think he was like overtaking her, like with all of these plans but I think it's going to be a better show, a better experience.
Me too. And it seems like she's doing the right thing. It's an intimate event, not no big, thing. It's like intimate. Maybe 100 trying to sell 100 tickets, 50 tickets even.
Yeah. And then they played the games Reasonably Shady. Is it Reasonably or is it Shady? Did you like that game?
Not really. It wasn't I would have been bored. It wasn't anything. I don't know how they could have spiced it up, to be honest. Maybe.
And then they bring Juan up to talk about being annoyed when she's basically saying, is it Reasonably or is it Shady that he turns on the vacuum while she's sleeping? I would have been so pissed off if I would have bought a ticket and this is what you're talking about, like turning on the vacuum while you're sleeping, and this is what you're bringing your husband up for, the one who you got remarried to, divorced to, marrying again. Like, this is what we're talking about? Are you serious?
Like I said, it was born as they couldn't even think of good segments, good activities, nothing. It was, again, their personalities for me is not entertaining.
And
I'm
I
not
think,
a fan of theirs, so
yeah, and I think that's what the issue. Like Karen has that guy that she works with, the one who was giving her most of the ideas. I wonder who does Gizelle and Robyn have to give them ideas and to manage their shows? Like, is it just them two giving each other the ideas, or do they have a third person that they, you know, a mentor, somebody that's into this or knows best? Like, I don't think they have any like outside influences.
you see, Karen has a lot. She's older. She's been married to Ray. I think Gizelle maybe could have had a segment about raising daughters. That's interesting enough. There's a lot of women that want to. She seems like a great mom, raising 3 daughters, single mom.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Or maybe she had her kids working there. Maybe she didn't want to put the kids in the show, but maybe a segment talking about that. I don't know, Robyn, how she started her hat business, maybe. Something of more substance where I left like, oh, I learned something. Not just boring entertainment. I don't think the show gave you anything. As women, we like to go to shows. I, as a woman, like to go to show not only for entertainment. If I'm going to something like that, I want to leave knowing I got something out of that. Like, oh, wow, I think I learned something new. I'm inspired. Something just not bore them. It was just, it was cheaply done, and it was kind of kiddish in a way. You got you got to look at the crowd. Like, how many people there really has a TikTok account and doing these stupid TikTok dances?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, that was not a good part.
I think they should have had like a comedian open up. I would have gotten other people. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like they should have, like, yeah, it's dumb. We coming to see have the experience with them. But I just think they should have involved others to help them out. Like, it was like, I don't know what they were thinking with that or whose idea they got to do something like this. Probably each other.
Yeah, they would had a better chance if they had Karen up there. They probably didn't want to do that. But yeah, it was just not good.
But they were proud, I guess. I think they were proud of themselves.
I don't think so. I think they were embarrassed. I think they were embarrassed. But I think they were embarrassed and they were saying face because Robyn was like, oh, you know, we made profit of like $4,000. Like, she was, oh, well, I think you could tell the uncomfortability. I think they know it wasn't a good show, but you're not going to go there and be like, oh, we bombed. Well, we just wanted to get close to our, you know, our fans and be around them, get to see them. You have to say that. But in the back, when no one's cameras off, they call each other, girl, that was terrible. you can't not gonna say that on live TV.
They had to know though. When they saw that it was only like 50 seats sold in a like $10,000 seat theater, like, you gotta know, like, you had to know, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had a clue. Like, how you still go forward and you got a clue that it's about to be a bomb?
I don't believe them that they spent $10,000 and they made $14,000. They basically saying they made $14,000 back. They said they made $4,000 profit. So they spent $10,000 in the event. So they had to make $14,000 back. Lies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sad. $10,000 was spent for such boring content. The audience probably left feeling cheated. Yeah, I don't know how much the tickets were, but they didn't make any profit. They probably threw that. Yeah. They probably lost $4,000 and said they gained it, because how did you make $14,000? How? If the venue was $10,000, I don't know how much were the tickets. Maybe
from the tickets and maybe drinks, the bar, whatever was set up there. Probably like
$14,000. How much would each ticket? $150?
I don't know. You know how they have like front row seats. They probably selling merchandise. Robyn got her whatever their merchandise there, the shady, reasonably shady stuff. Who knows? But
tickets for $150 each. We don't know. So maybe they made the $4,000.
Yeah, so then we get to the juicy tea extraction with Gizelle and Mia's BFF. I thought that was good.
I thought it was okay. I was looking for a little bit more. Gizelle's approach was very thirsty. I think it was also an inappropriate place to bring that up. You just had a show, you flopped. You should be in the back crying. You should be in the back sobbing. You should be making a quick exit? Weren't you trying to meet your fans? Like, that's the part I don't understand. I was like,
that's true.
How are you meeting your fans? Like, how? Unless it was hours after, and I don't know why the women would just be hanging out. It seemed like she was on stage with Robyn. All of a sudden, you're sitting in the blank auditorium because everybody.
No, what I think it's the editors, though. I think it's the editors, and they still had to get some scenes. You know how, from what I understand with Carlos, the king, from what he says, being a producer of the show, he was saying that they have a certain amount of time to get scenes done. So in my mind, I'm thinking like they needed a scene, and like he calls Gizelle Kobe Bryant, because she will get the scene done and let production like, okay, we done for the day, and she'll bring the scene and let them go home. And I like that because I think that was what he was talking about. She was able to get that scene.
Okay, so let me wind back because I just didn't understand the dynamics and why it happened here. I know it's reality TV and they're trying to get gossip and doing, but to me, it has to be kind of natural for me to enjoy it. Not, I don't know. It looked too much like forced of getting gossip. So that's why I enjoyed. Like when her and Karen were talking, they teeing, they kikiing. I like that because that was natural. Oh, you wasn't here. Let me tell you, girl, what happened. This one, it was building a scene. The girl said, "Hey, go to her, ask her if she sleep with me as man." Like it wasn't the right moment, right setting. We wasn't having drinks. We weren't in an environment of where I would ask you that question. So that's when you saying, "Oh, they just wanted to end it with a scene," or they got to get their check for that day. That's what it felt like. It was just not the right timing for me when it was asked. It was just like, what? Like, how did that come about?
True.
So it looked very planned, rehearsed, calculated, too much. It was a natural for me. If she had said that in Miami, when it would have made more sense to me when they were in Miami and Mia was like, "Oh, I had her sleep with my boyfriend." And Gizelle said, "Well, has your friend ever slept with your man?" Or later on, you got on the van, like, "Girl, I didn't know you slept with Mia's man. You do that for husband." Then I could see, because you're carrying on from the conversation you had in the van. But this had there was no thoughts of that, I don't think, in that moment. Like, if I'm having a show, so I'm not thinking about you sleeping with this person's man. Especially like, wow. So so it wasn't as exciting for me because of the moment and the place that it was set at.
It was exciting for me because, like you said, I do think maybe Gizelle tried too hard to catch it to get a scene. Yes. But I do like the way the best friend was kind of like stuck like a deer in headlights, like a Porsche. Who bought my Porsche? Like it was like, when Gizelle asked her that and asked her about sleeping around, she just seemed to be like, she needed it to be rehearsed with Mia in order to answer. It was almost like she didn't want to answer because she didn't want to expose themselves.
Well, this is where I felt the friend had no balls, because if after that, this is where you build on the scene. See, this is where, as a newbie, you build on. Because if I was a newbie and Gizelle came and threw that in my face, cameras rolling, I don't know this woman's life. If she got a man, she got kids, if she got family, people don't need to know about my Porsche, who's mom give my coochie to. I'll be like, excuse me, you bring this, you should be worried about the flop you just had. You should be worried about the show. You should be worried about the money you lost. You should be worried about this empty auditorium. Why are you bringing this up to me? This is where you build up a scene. But you stand there like, oh God, I'm caught. What do I say?
Yes.
Mia, like,
that's true. She should have, you're right. She should have brought like more to that scene.
And she could have checked Gizelle, and then that would have been a scene. Because the fact that she didn't check it made it even more apparent that they were looking for scene. Because if I'm not expecting Gizelle to come say this, my look of shock would have been me attacking you. So if the girl had attacked her, then I'd be like, oh, okay, now a little bit more of the reality's coming out. The fact that Gizelle said this and your response asks me, one, that lets me know you're guilty. Two, lets me know you can't stand up to Gizelle. You're backed in a corner and you throw the bone back to me. Well, ask me. So to me, that said, yes, you slept with her man. Because if someone comes and say, oh, have you slept with Elisa man? Hell no, girl. Why would you ask me that? I am offended. Mia, you heard what you just said?
Yeah.
You ask me. Like, yes, you did. And you don't know what to say because you don't know what they know. You don't want to lie until you did it, and it comes out you did. You don't know what Mia said. You know what Mia's going to say. So you saying ex-Mia says a whole lot. Yes, you did.
Yeah, she did. She absolutely did. It's just, I don't know. I look at that best friend. She just seems so much, and I guess I shouldn't judge because there's so many people who enjoy swinging and stuff like that. So I don't know. To me, I'm just like, I just don't understand why she seems to be like some kind of like puppy dog for Mia. But I guess she's gonna come out of that scenes later. We just gotta wait and see. But to me, it just seemed like, why are you sleeping with her husband? Because they want the threesome. Like, you just seem to be doing too much. But from what Mia alluded to, it seemed like Mia might have bought the Porsche for her when Gizelle asked.
Obviously, and you see why she kisses her behind. If she's buying you Porsche, she letting you sleep with her man, they're giving you money. Hello, she's gonna be kissing her behind.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it makes sense. That's why I'm saying the flip side of that is Mia alluded to it. So maybe that's why she's like a dog, like for a puppy dog for Mia, because she's buying her Porsches and stuff like that. So
to me, the whole thing says yes. Now it seems later on Mia's gonna get mad with the girl for implying that she may have slept with her man, but when you start having your friend sleep with your boyfriend, there's a line you don't let ever cross. Obviously, she never cared about the guy. Maybe they were in a relationship, but that friend now thinks any man you with, it's open. I'm open to sleep with him.
Yeah.
So where do you say, oh no, you could have slept with my boyfriend, but no, that's my husband. You can't. And she knows you're swinging. What makes her the exception? And I think it was in one of the episodes. Me was like, well, because she's my friend. So it's like, oh, if you're my friend, you can't sleep with my man, but I could find another girl, random chick, and he could sleep with her, which I understand because she is close around your man all the time. You could go to the club, meet a girl, sleep with her, you never see her again. This is your friend, always in your man's face. Either way, they had threesomes, or he slept with her, whatever. She slept with her husband and she slept with Mia. That's how I see it based on her answer to Gizelle.
Oh, and I think I skipped over the scene when they were sitting in the living room and it was Mia, the best friend, and Mia's husband. And you remember when he was like, I feel so weird sitting in between like you guys. And then it was like, you could just tell, it just seemed like it was a very like awkward moment when he felt like, oh, I feel so weird sitting in between you guys. And it's like, it was just weird that Mia wasn't next to her husband. Then it was like the best friend came and sat, like, it was just an awkward scene. Like, to me, that told me they are sleeping together and they trying to kind of like, throw us off the scent or something.
If Mia's so open about who she's sleeping with, why is this friend an exception? I don't know what's going on in that friend's life. She got a man, she got something going on. Her parents are pastors. I don't know, but if you're so open about who you're sleeping with, now all of a sudden you don't want people to know your man slept with this chick or sleep with this chick. Is it because she's on camera and now she's going to get the spotlight on her?
I think so.
I think that could be like, oh, I don't want people to know my man is we're sleeping with her. I mean, as much as she could tell who her man is sleeping with, we don't know who they are. But to actually have one we see, maybe why she wants it to be such a secret. And if that's the case, why bring on the show? Because the friend is going to rat you out eventually.
But I think, yeah, the friend is, but I think with Mia and this best friend, like Mia is basically the HBIC in that relationship. Like she's the head bitch in charge. Yeah. So it's like, you can't go stray away from this tight leash I got you on. And she's starting to stray. So Mia's like trying to gain control of the leash. And the best friend is straying. So I think that's what's going on with Mia. Like the best friend is talking too much. You don't talk out of turn with Mia when you're the best friend and I'm buying you Porsches and stuff like that. Like, no, you stay in your place and you talk when I tell you to talk. And you consult me first before you talk. I think that's what Mia's saying.
I agree with Mia. Because if you don't have anything and I'm the one that's giving you what you have, know your place and stay in your place. I totally agree with her. Now, the friend now put herself in a position where we all seeing her on a leash. Mm-hmm. Everybody who didn't know, or she's pretending she has her own stuff. Now, we don't really know if Mia brought her that Porsche. We're assuming that she did. We don't know. I mean, the girl
by Mia's reaction when Gizelle kind of threw it at Mia after she asked the best friend, Mia's answer told me like she didn't want to really throw her under the bus and make her seem like some kind of like, I don't know. To me, I felt like Mia did buy her, that she contributed to it somehow.
Somehow, maybe with the insurance. But again, you're putting your business out there by bringing this girl on TV. People get really big headed. People turn against you. People see you getting a little check here and there. She's getting a little bit more following. She might get a little attention. She might be more likable than you. She might get eventually a Peach, a friend of the show. She needs a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Her storyline is going to be you.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to really think who you bring on these shows. And these women, she'll turn her back on Mia. Because Mia's not funding her life, I don't think. If you bought me a Porsche, you buy me a little here and there, shoes and clothes here and there. But if Bravo's giving me a check because I'm coming at you hard, oh, honey, she's going to let it all rip. She's not going to need me eventually. Why? She's getting a check from Bravo.
Exactly.
I'm promoting her business eventually and everything else. So I think Mia really probably didn't think it. Maybe she was looking for alliance on the show and didn't really think, oh, we're so close. I have her, like you said, in the leash. And eventually it seemed like this girl's becoming boisterous. Now we'll wait and see later on how much she exposed. She may not. Maybe Leah might check her right quick and then she doesn't expose as much as we think she's going to expose.
Yeah. We got to wait and see. And that was the end of that episode, which like you said, we got to wait and see what's going to be exposed, and Ashley's situation. And Robyn seemed like she's going to get married to Juan in this season.
Oh, she is? I didn't see that.
She alludes to it. It's like she's like, just watch the show and see. Like when she was on, Gizelle and Robyn was on Watch What Happens Live. And of course, that was like the number one question for her. And
she cares at this point.
Yeah, I know, but it's gonna be interesting. I want to, because it's like it's kind of like a game. Like, are they gonna get married? Or are they not gonna get married? Let's bet on it. And a lot of people are betting on, like Karen, that they're not going to get married, and they're having a wedding with just her and the kids. And not even Gizelle is going.
Gizelle, you're not capitalizing on this, but Bravo, like this is a major scene here for her. Bravo might even help pay for the wedding. Like this is the time you could have capitalized on that.
Well, we got to wait and see. Hopefully, like, I just can't believe that, like you said, Gizelle is letting that slide. Like, I can't imagine if my best friend is getting married and I don't care if it's just the four of you, your husband, and just the two kids. I'm gonna be there as the witness. Like, I'm going. Like, there's no way I would be offended.
Hell yeah, we got businesses together, and a business, and yeah, they seem like to be best of friends. I would be highly offended, but we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Or you got something to hide. Maybe they didn't get married. Maybe it's just a little ceremony, just to shut everybody else's mouth. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Hi, Smiles, and thank you for joining us. And thank you everyone else for joining us for this episode. Don't forget to look at some of our old episodes where we talk about all the recaps and everything. And we're going to put up another episode after this of our quick tea, where we go through some of the hot topics of the Housewives. So see you again next time. Toodles.
Bye.
Okay. Isn't this anything?